Welcome back to Femoral Canine Training, and on this video we're answering some more of your questions to help you become a high-level canine leader that can raise perfect canine companions. So welcome back. If you are new here, my name's Will. I'm a canine behaviourist and I'm the founder of behaviourist.com. This is my wonderful wife Rachel. You guys have been asking her some questions over on Instagram. She saves them all, picks some at random, asks me, and hopefully we'll be able to help you on your journey to a high level, perfect canine companion. So let's dive into question number one.
Okay, so this is another example where we've had quite a few questions on a similar sort of thing, and that is about stopping your dog barking at things you don't want them to bark at. So either people, or this person said car doors when the wind catches the letterbox.
Do we know what breed it is?
No, the thing has bully in it, but that could be bull mastiff or
so this is again one of those. Barking is up there with the most common behavioural challenge that a behaviourist will see with their clients. Back before I kind of moved to exclusively online, the people that were reaching out to me asking for help, the majority was usually around barking. Now, there's a lot of different approaches, and as with anything, the different people that sit on the different camps will give you different bits of advice. The positive only world will have their kind of solution. The dominance theory people have their solution. I'm an advocate for a balanced approach and understanding all of those different training methodologies and being able to utilize the right approach for the right situation, which is why I think balanced trainers and balanced behaviorists have so much success, because they're able to come in. And the problem is with barking, it is a very bespoke problem to be able to implement a behavior modification program to fix it, because first of all we have to unpick where that barking comes from to be able to choose the best approach to being able to fix it. Now, usually with barking, the vast majority of times it comes just from bad manners and then being an obnoxious, annoying dog. I usually, in those situations, and again, I respect my clients' wishes. If some people only want a positive approach, then we can look at doing it, and it takes a lot longer to do, because we have to usually, first of all, teach the dog to bark on command, to then be able to unpick that, to teach them a quiet command, and then we have to utilize the quiet command when they start being reactive. The problem that I don't like that approach personally is because it's simply a plaster over the problem of just an obnoxious, poorly mannered, poorly behaved dog that is being overly vocal for no reason. And the problem with positive only is that yes, we can teach them, please do this, but it gives us very limited ability to teach them, please stop doing this. So for me, usually I can go in and sort of bark in 10-15 minutes, depending on the owner's comfortability with the certain tools that can be used. So you just kind of oftentimes just need to come down and just tell them to cut the nonsense. The example I often give to them when they're I don't know if I want to do that, everybody says you shouldn't correct a dog and it should be, well, I'm like, okay, well, if I brought my son into the room, he's 4 years old, and he came and screamed in your face, I wouldn't get a chocolate bar out and lure him away with a chocolate bar and then give him a chocolate bar if he stopped screaming in your face. He would be challenged very directly to stop screaming. And because we have that relationship with our son, that would just never occur in the first place, would it? And it gets to a point where if he displayed any obnoxious behaviours, it could be quite quick. That's enough. And that's enough because you've got that relationship. So that's where I always go back to, you need to re-establish that relationship. You need to become a calm, consistent leader and have the tools to not only be able to say, yes, I do want that, but no, I don't want that. And I would probably utilize a prong collar or a choke chain, and I would use very basic, I'd keep them on a long line, and I'd use a very basic correction approach anytime they offered those obnoxious behaviors. Very quickly let them know it's not acceptable. Well, I meant more, but it's just a simple, I'll do a demonstration on it sometime. I like to do these videos where I teach you the overarching theory, because there's so many excellent trainers that do an actual demonstration of it, but it would be nice for me to do a bit of both.
Can you recommend someone to watch?
Tom Davis, 100%, is the master when it comes to utilising a prong collar. His thought process and how he utilises it is a mirror of how I would do it. It's the approach is identical, because what we need to do, some people go too far down the road and only use corrections. That correction needs to come in, and I'll do it properly this time, straight in. I would cut the shit, I'm not having that, stop. And then when they redirect away and display the appropriate behaviour, then we instantly switch back to praise and reinforcement, and we go back to that positive world. But if you haven't got that additional little tool to be able to say, cut it out, pack it in, then the bigger tool of the positive reinforcement can't work. So we have to have a way, I always talk about correct, redirect, reinforce. Now, if you put a verbal correction in every time you use any kind of physical correction at the same time, the dog will then very quickly link that verbal correction with the physical correction. And then what I would do is then quite quickly phase away the physical correction, leaving us with the verbal correction, which then there's no physicality at all. So in a 1 hour session, you could achieve that with a tool like a Herman Springer prong collar, which would probably be the most efficient and quick way of doing it. You correct them with I use a some people like a shush or a no, doesn't really matter. And then eventually you can go straight in with that verbal and oh, I know what that means. Sorry, I got carried away. Then you bring them away, you redirect, and then we go back to reinforcement. And then eventually we can live back in that reinforcement world. But I think so many people get so stuck with behaviour because they're scared of the propaganda out there around those approaches not working or those approaches breaking a dog's confidence. And it's not the case whatsoever. Dogs, the most confident dogs in the world, are the dogs that understand that they've got clear leadership from their owner, and they're the ones that have no anxiety or fear, and then don't display these behaviours. Again, a lot of people understand that it's quite a common sense approach, but I understand when some people aren't comfortable with that. Do you want to jump in as a kind of an owner's perspective on that? Because I know that's a difficult topic for some people to listen to.
No, not necessarily. I was just going to say that obviously you're making it very clear that by physical correction, it's utilising tools for that purpose, not like hitting your dog.
Yeah, of course, 100%. And that's the problem where this gets squirrely, because anything can be misused, and that's where it gets difficult, which is why I don't overly talk about it. Because what I don't want is for you to listen to what I've just said and go, oh, okay, cool, that guy I like on YouTube says that physical corrections are okay. And then as a novice first-time owner, you go and misuse that tool. You use it far too much. You use it with bad timing, in the wrong approach. And then you get the problems that the positive only people will discuss that can come from that methodology. And it's difficult to explain it or even demonstrate it through a YouTube video. So I'll go back. Tom Davis from Upstate Canine Academy does do a great job at displaying it. It is something we will do more.
I think as well then that also if you're not confident in doing it, then if it's a behaviour that you really want to fix, then you need to seek a local behaviourist who will do it for you, basically. That,
because like I say, this person here that's asked this question, and I know we've gone off and I'm waffling a little bit, but I think we'll stick to just this one question for this video, because I think it's a really important topic. Again, that's the kind of thing that you could bring to somebody like me, and it would look like we're a godsend to dog training. I've been pulling my hair about this for months or years, and I've gone to so many trainers, and you must be the dog whisperer, you can talk to dogs. It's just like, no, it's not rocket science. It's just about implementation and timing that comes from experience of doing those things. Now, that can be learnt by owners, but it's one of those things that I wouldn't go into it if you're not confident, which is where going to do it with somebody, but I would never do it for you. I would do it with you, show you how I'm doing it, and then that would be done in 10 minutes of an hour consultation. Then the other 50 minutes would be me handing that skill over to you and teaching you how to do it the correct way, the right approach, timing, all of those intricacies that go into it being effective. That would go in, and then you can then take that skill away with you and utilize it in your relationship with your dog to have a perfect canine companion. Again, I think the problem where people go wrong is, again, you can jump into a video, someone can make a video to make themselves look incredible, and you've done a good job, but people then try and replicate that without that level of experience, and it's a difficult one, and it's something that even now I'm not 100% what the right approach in this space on YouTube is to be able to help people with that. What I like to do is I do believe that you can get to a situation with your dog where you don't need to utilize anything like that if you do it right the first time round, which is why we developed the Perfect Puppy course, which is why we put so much of our emphasis in trying to help people at that early stage and stopping these things from happening in the first place. If they don't, and they come at this stage, it's difficult online, and a lot of times Rachel's right, it's probably advice I need to give more. The difficulty is I want to help you, but for me to help you, the advice might be that you need to go and find a good local behaviourist that can do it in person, because a lot of times that is what it requires. And if I can't teach you to do it through a video, then that's the time where you need to go and do that. So maybe that's the better thing. We're always trying to work out how to help people better, aren't we, through this crazy roller coaster that is YouTube. Cool. Should we leave it there? Because I know I proper went on there. That was a masterclass in waffling. So I really appreciate it. I hope there was some bits in there that you can pull out of that. I really do. It's the reason we do this. So if you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. Get involved down in the comment section below. Subscribe if you're new here. And other than that, we'll see you on the next video. Again, come over to Instagram if you've got any questions. That's the place to do it. We haven't got time to go through all the comments of all the individual, because they just get lost. Whereas if you follow us on Instagram, when Rachel puts the story up asking for questions, you ping them in and she can save all of them so they don't get lost or mixed up anywhere. So that's the best, easiest way to do it.
I do try and ask the ones that come up most commonly. Again, if you've got a really specific issue, it may be that you need to seek someone local to you, because we just can't go like, I get about 500 responses every time that we put one of those up. So I promise you, we're trying our best, and we're bringing on new staff members. There's loads we're doing to be able to help you. So bear with us. We appreciate your support, and we'll see you on the next video. Yeah, see you in a bit. Bye.